Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I am once again drawing mermaids. I know the last two videos have just been based around mermaid, but in my defense, I haven't had the time to draw anything but mermaids. However, I can guarantee that next week I will have a non-mermaid inspired video, so look out for that. If you didn't see my last video, basically I created my own mermaid prompt that anyone is free to use, even if you're just seeing this now, and I'll have a link up below. Wait, up below, that makes no sense. I cannot grammar. Anyways, I'll have a link up here somewhere that'll show you where the prompt is. And anyways, I basically have a prompt for every other day of May where I have to draw some sort of mermaid based around that prompt. First drawing I am making here is based around the prompt cottage core. So I actually had a lot of fun with this one, but it was definitely very difficult as I had to draw like this full-on scenery thing. And as you can see, I sort of had the idea to make it more like a pond with like grass and stuff. And at the end, I ended up not including the grass just because I figured in my limited time, I wouldn't be able to make it look very good, which is okay. I still think it turned out pretty cool without having that extra detail. Also, I mentioned in my last video that I feel that as I go on, I progressively get better and better, and I still think that's pretty accurate. Like, I just find that as I go along, my drawings get better and better, which I think is great because that means I'm making progress, which I think is really cool because that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this, is because I figured if I'm forced to draw something for an entire month, then that would allow me to have the opportunity to grow as an artiste. And honestly, even if you're not doing mermaid specifically, I would definitely recommend doing some sort of challenge like this where you just draw for an entire month. Anyways, I love how this turned out. We even have a little froggy in there. So now we can move on to the next prompt. So the next prompt was drinks. And for this one, I actually decided to go with a boba themed mermaid, which I kind of had planned to do a boba themed mermaid from the start just because I thought it would look really cute. But yeah, so right now I'm just doing the sketch and figuring out the pose and whatnot. Something I did to the tail that personally I think looks really cool is I made it sort of like a glass tail where you could see like the drink on the inside of the tail and whatnot. I just thought it would be like a really cool idea, and I've seen people use this technique while drawing like hair and like limbs and stuff, so I thought it'd be cool to apply it to a mermaid tail. Moving on to the line art, and something else that I've noticed that I've gotten a lot better at is, even though I still have a lot of room to improve on, is my general like hand drawing ability has gotten a lot better. Like before, I literally just drew like 5 rectangles on a square. That was pretty much it. I didn't add any details, I didn't round off the fingers or anything. Like, once again, there's always going to be room for improvement, but I definitely think I've gotten a lot better in the last few weeks. And something that wasn't necessarily difficult, but did take a lot of going back and forth, was trying to decide how I would show the reflection on the glass, because it's like I didn't want it to look too cartoony, but at the same time, when I tried to make it look super realistic, it just didn't fit with the drawing. And I also went back and forth on like what color to make the background, but I ended up doing this green, thanks to my sister who recommended it. And anyways, that is the final drawing. It's definitely different than my other ones, as it doesn't really have like that sort of water element. But in general, I love how it turned out. And now we can move on to the second to last prompt. So this next one was Fandom, and I'm really excited for this one, because for this I decided to make a Origins SMP inspired drawing. So for the prompt Fandom, I decided to draw Fish Nikki from Origins SMP along with Ghostbird / Wilbur Soot. I had a lot of fun with this, but I definitely don't think Wilbur actually looks like him, or at least like sort of his character. And I blame that on the fact that I just don't know how to draw guys, honestly. This is definitely one of my favorite drawings out of the 8 that I've done so far, and that's for a couple of reasons. One, because I love Nikki and Wilbur, and secondly, it's because I had to draw not 1, but 2 side profiles. Like, they are so hard to draw. Like, I don't know why they're so hard to draw, but I can't draw them for the life of me, but I somehow came out with 2, like, not to toot my own horn, but I think pretty good looking side profiles, so it just makes me happy to see it. So Nikki's design was definitely a lot more complicated than Wilbur's, his beanie and cardigan. And also took a lot more time because I kept having to go back and forth to decide what I was going to keep in and what I was going to keep out. Because at first I definitely had way too many details with all of the vines and pearls. So eventually I decided to take all of the pearls and like frilly stuff out and just leave in the plants. Which I'm so glad I did that because I think her design looks a lot better and a lot simpler. And I just generally think it's a lot nicer to look at. Also, something that I just haven't really talked about the last two videos is I'm really proud of like the water I've drawn, because while it's not anything too complicated, I just think like the fact that I've been able to draw water that looks half decent is pretty cool, especially considering the fact that before I could literally do nothing. Like I could probably draw like a circle with like blue in it. Anyways, that is the final drawing. Once again, this is one of my favorites, and I ended up putting like a pink tint on it to just make it look kind of dreamy. But anyways, now we can move on to the final drawing. And the last prompt for this video was crystal, and surprisingly, the most difficult part of this drawing was just trying to find out a pose. I don't know why I found it so difficult, especially considering the fact it's like the most simple pose out of all of the drawings I've done, but I just really struggled with it for some reason. So for this drawing, I sort of envisioned him being like stone with sort of like different bits and cracks of crystal that's kind of slowly like breaking off of him, which was honestly inspired by like Minecraft ores and how it's like stone and then you have like the diamond or like the gold, just some bits of it. And while I do think this ended up being like one of my more simpler designs, considering the fact there is no outfit and really only uses two colors, I think it's one of the coolest designs I've done, and I think I added in some pretty cool effects. And for the like coloring of the crystals, well, I actually found it like quite relaxing and fun to color all of them in. I have no idea if I colored them accurately. Like I have no idea like if like with the light and the dark if I did that right. But yeah, that's how it looks. And I also ended up adding like this glowy effect to it, which I think looks cool. And then as you can see, I made him stone, and that is the final drawing. Yeah, so I ended up giving all of the like crystals like this sort of bluey glow, and I had the sort of idea that like they were the only light source wherever he is. And then I had to add glowy eyes. It wouldn't feel complete without them. Well, anyways, those are all of the final drawings. I love how they turned out. And let me know down below which one is your favorite. I'd love to know. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give a big thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, or you just haven't already, make sure to subscribe, as it supports me and everything I do. And if you wouldn't mind, hit that post notification bell so that you're alerted every time I upload a video. Anyways, thank you for watching, and that's all that I have to say for now. So remember to stay weird, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!